There's a, did you see that?
Yeah. A gopher.
Okay. So today, I think is the day. I still don't know how to hold this thing. So today's the day that we find out what happened with the Mustang. I mean, I know what happened, but how bad it really is. Right now, I'm going to look at a Lincoln that I have. The Link. Oh wow. Is this gonna auto adjust?
No, it's it on Matt.
Oh, there we go. So today I'm going to just take some pictures because this car is the car that I'm taking the rear suspension out of. And everything else I am just selling. I don't need anything from it. It's not pretty, but I don't give a shit because all I need is for the rear suspension. Marla, what are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna take some pictures and then we'll be back in the shop. Isos, what are we doing today? Oh, look, there she is. All of broken and stuff. Okay, so we did a compression test. Turns out cylinder 1 is at about 55, while the rest are around 160 to 180. So it's cylinder 1. So I'm gonna do the same thing I've done 4 times before. Gonna take the head off of it. Yeah, basically what I do is I take, all this comes off with it. The intake, the exhaust manifold, the turbo. We just lift it up and it all comes with it. So it's not that hard to do, just a little time consuming. So when I'm finished with that, or along the way or whatever, I'll pick up the camera. Okay, so I got the strut bar off and just took some of the intercooler piping off. So removed all the spark plug lines. So right now I'm gonna remove the valve cover so I can get the head bolts. I still have, well, I gotta drain the fluid first, or the coolant. But yeah, I'm making pretty good progress. I mean, I've done this 5 or 6 times. So I'll update you guys when I get back to it. Got the valve cover off, and I'm removing the rocker arms right now. So I just unbolted them, they just come off like that. So my rocker arm assembly. Got to take the push rods out, drain the fluid, and then disconnect some other lines, and then take the head studs off, and I'll be good to take the whole head off. So I got to leave in a second to go look at some houses. Then I'm gonna come back and finish this up. So yeah, but going pretty fast. I mean, it's pretty easy once you've done it 4 or 5 times. So I don't like to talk about how much I've done it. I've blown this thing up a lot, so. But it's fun. Soon it'll be bare, soon. Coolant's drained. All the fuel lines are disconnected. Basically only have really a couple things to do. I gotta disconnect some electrical lines back there that are for some gauges. I have to disconnect the downpipe, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a bunch of little things like this, but I mean, all in all, it's pretty easy to take this off. I think I'm gonna have to remove this bolt though. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep working at it, and then I'll update you guys as I go. Everything's taken off. All I need to do is I've loosened the head bolts, or the head studs. So now I'm just gonna take the studs out all together. As you can see, they just ARP head studs. So just gonna take them all out. My dad's coming by. I gotta weld something up for him, and then he's gonna help me remove the head. When upgrading a car or modifying a car, you want to make it as easy as possible to work on. So head studs, super easy because you can reuse them. You don't have to buy new ones. And as you saw, you just loosen them up. I already did it with a breaker bar, and you just take them out. This one's a little tough because it's in the water jacket. I gotta put some more RTV on it, but yeah, just take them out. It's the best thing I can say is if you're upgrading a car is make it as easy as possible to work on. But when we're taking the head off, I'll start the recording again and show you guys what it looks like. So my dad showed up, thankfully, right at the right time. I didn't film it, but we got the head off. It's a little difficult because, I don't know if you noticed, and I probably said this before, but there's no turbo or anything in there. And I know we would have moved it like you would remove the manifold before, but the whole head and everything, we just remove it as one piece. So it's just easier to do. So I don't have to take everything off, buy new gaskets. It all just comes off, and we really only need 3 people to do it. So, good news is, cylinder 1 piston is still intact from up here. Ring lands could be destroyed, but I'm willing to make a bet it's just rings. So I just re-ring it, and then that's it. But, I mean, it looks pretty good. I haven't opened up this engine in a while. Well, no, it's been... I don't know. I don't know how many times I've opened it up. And if you are wondering why there's coolant down there, it's because when you take the head off, some coolant drains out, and that's why. But I mean, the cylinder walls look great. Everything looks pretty good. That's all I'm doing for today. So it'll be in the same video. Tomorrow, I'm gonna take the pan off and get that piston out of the cylinder 1. And we'll see what's wrong with it. As I said, I think it's just rings, which will be a cheap and easy fix because I just use stock rings. So we'll have this baby up and running by next week. So I'm excited. And then also I'm going to start building the suspension for it outside of the car. So that'll be fun. That'll be more projects. And yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, nothing like a loud car in the morning. I think we upset somebody. Okay, another day at the shop. This will be the same video, but a different day. So, today we're gonna work on the Mustang again. Yesterday, I got the head off. I mean, you guys have already seen all this. I don't need to explain it. But today I'm going to take the oil pan off and then take cylinder 1 out. Piston number 1. So I'm going to come back to you guys when it's all set up and on jack stands. Okay, now that the car is jacked up in the air, I have enough room to get under it, and what I need to do is drain all the oil, take the pan off so I can get to the rod to this piston so I can get it out. Again, I don't know if it's cracked or not. It might just be rings, which would be really good. If it's a piston, It's a little bit more money and a little bit more time. But other than that, it should be pretty easy. So, might hit you guys with the time lapse. I'm not sure. It'll take a little bit to drain all the oil and get the pan off. I just took the pan off, and I took the lower cap off. Well, the cap from the rod off. So right now, I'm going to push the piston up. My dad's going to take it or catch it, not catch it, but grab it, and then we'll really see what's going on. So I'll push that up, and then I'll update you guys when I get back. We'll see if the piston's cracked or it's just the rings. We got some news. First news is bearings. They're a little worn, but I'm gonna just throw them back in because bear swap. That's why. I'm not gonna get new bearings. Nope, no problem. So piston looks good. Then you take it around this side, and got a chunk of ringland that missing. So rings are intact. Ringlands are not. This is the same thing that happened the first time I was tuning this car. The ringlands broke off because of a bad tune. And this time, it was a bad tune. It overboosted, so it went lean. So, I mean, it's not a bad tune because it wasn't tuned for that high of a boost. But it overboosted, went lean, had some detonation, and blew some ringlands apart. Right?
Pretty much, bud.
We sent her a little too hard, bud. So, I think I'm probably gonna end up reusing the rings. I'm gonna inspect them, take them off. But the only thing I need to buy is a head gasket and a new piston. And I mean, it's an OEM piston, so they're not very expensive. So what I'll end up doing, heating this up, pressing this wrist pin out, then putting the wrist pin in the freezer when I get the new piston, heating the rod up, and then pushing the wrist pin through the piston and getting it all centered. So next video will probably be, if I don't actually have, I'm still actually editing the second half of the cage. I've been kind of lazy, so I gotta get going on that. But either the next video that you see is gonna be the cage, or it's gonna be putting a new piston back on this. So that's all for this video. I think it's a pretty short video. Two days for me, but for you guys it'll be pretty short. But I mean, this is what you deal with when you deal with stock parts, and I mean, this never would have happened if the boost line didn't fall off, the wastegate line. So what can you do? I wish I had the money to build the barrel right now and put it in, but my dad and I were looking at it and we're like, this old engine needs to get out of here. The barrel needs to go in, but gotta save money for that. So when I rebuild this, I'm gonna put it in, and then I'm gonna start on the suspension. So I'm gonna buy some frame rail and buy some tubing, make the K-member, and do all that. I'm finalizing the design tonight. I decided to go with a longer stroke air strut. So instead of 2.9 inches, it's 3.6. So I have a little bit more travel in the suspension. So I might do like a quick video on that, just a quick screen cap of the computer and what you got, so you guys can see what's going on. But besides that, see you next time. Adios. If you guys stayed till the end of the credits, you're gonna see this. I decided to just kind of put this in, see what it looks like. I want to build it now. It looks so cool. I'm kind of speechless. I'm ready to build it. But kid can dream. So stay tuned for next video.
Go fund me.
My OnlyFans is in the description.